Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. Today is Friday, the 22nd day of March. As young as you feel day. Well, I don't feel very young today. We've been helping some friends at their house doing some renovating projects, and holy cow,
and
I'm
we're
old.
both feeling our
What is
age
happening
for
today?
sure.
It's also International Talk Like William Shatner Day. This is
Right.
how he used to talk. He doesn't do that anymore, though. So back when he was
I
like...
wouldn't know.
No, when you see him and stuff now, he doesn't do that. But yeah, he had kind of a certain cadence as Captain Kirk. So, International Day of the Seal, National Bavarian Crepes Day. Ooh, that sounds good. National Goof Off Day and World Water Day. All of that happening. And I've got a guest joining me. He was on Joe Millionaire as a bachelor, I think is what it was. I think that's what the show is called.
I have no
anyway,
idea.
Stephen McBee is his name. And now his whole family is on a show. They're in Missouri, right on the Iowa border. And it looks like a pretty cool show. And it just kicked off. We're going to chat with Stephen Jr. coming up in a bit.
Give yourself a little credit.
I've been telling you about BetterCreditCards.com for a few years now. I'd love for you to take a few minutes today to check out the website. Who knows? You might find a better credit card, one that offers a better rate, or a credit card that offers cash back, airline miles, or other points and perks that can help you. Check it out now.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. In spite of the fact that people who often exaggerate or downright lie often think they can tell when somebody else is doing the same thing, a new Canadian study has found that these liars are actually more likely to be fooled by misleading information than non-liars.
Real.
A team from the University of Waterloo worked with over 800 volunteers in a series of trials examining their lying skills. They determined that the more frequently a person tends to be untruthful, the more likely they are to be duped by various types of misleading information regarding their cognitive ability. So that's kind of interesting. I guess you'd think that somebody who's really good at lying would be really good at, telling when someone's lying.
I wouldn't know. I've never lied in my life.
Well, that's probably a good thing because I believe everything you say anyway. I've also been told that I am very gullible, and I can tell you this, I'm a horrible liar. I can't get away with nothing. I start smiling, Heidi, because she's like, that's not even right.
lying.
None of that. So,
Yeah.
All right. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Insurance. It's important to have insurance, but it's more important to have the right insurance. After all, if you're not covered, it's like not even having insurance. Make sure you're covered for whatever claim might come your way with InsuranceChicken.com, helping you peck out great insurance deals in your area. You need insurance on your car anyway. Why not get great rates for great insurance from InsuranceChicken.com? That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know that more than half of young workers admit that they use minor illnesses to avoid adulting? A survey of 1,000 millennials and 1,000 Gen Z office employees revealed that half, 54%, refuse to do things like laundry, 59%, buying groceries, 59%, and cleaning their room or apartment, 58%. Other chores often end up being done by their unfortunate parents or partners or roommates. So any minor illness, they're like, I just don't feel good. Why? How don't you feel good? I have a headache. What's that from? Drinking too much last night. Go do the laundry. All right. We don't know everything, but now we know this. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. The Batman 2 has been delayed a year and will now be released October the 2nd, 2026.
Well, I wonder why.
They announced that Robert Pattinson will return to star in the sequel, which is set originally to come out next year, but now it's going to be in 2026. So there you go. Al Pacino is opening up about his life like never before in an upcoming memoir, Sonny Boy, set for release October the 8th. He's 83 years young. And he's got
Is
so
he
many.
really?
Yeah,
I
there's
had
so
no
many
idea.
movies that he's a part of that are gigantic, huge films. So And one of my favorite movies he was in was him playing himself in Jack and Jill. It's a silly movie, but I loved
It's
him.
such a stupid movie.
It is, but didn't you just love him in that?
He is the best part.
He was
of it.
playing himself, and he was playing a really ridiculous version of himself, and that was like the best part of that movie. And Jeopardy is hosting its first ever invitational tournament, and the field of contestants is set. The new tournament, casually named JIT, Jeopardy Invitational Tournament. Anyway, it's not going to be happening for a little bit, but when it happens, we'll chat more about it. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
What could you do with an extra $129 a month? In this economy, every penny counts. So an extra $129 each month would absolutely help. Well, 97% of us have a cell phone, and the average person pays $144 a month. Mint Mobile can help you save a mint. At just $15 a month, that's an average savings of $129 each month. It's time for a Mintervention. Switch and save today. Get this special offer at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. The First Cannabis Church of Georgia is now opening.
What?
I guess it's already open. They're welcoming an inclusive community dedicated to the spiritual and healing properties of cannabis. So there you go. That was said to me by somebody from my Weird News. I'm like, well, there's not enough there for Weird News, but
Okay.
I'll mention it. And this is really cool. Origin stories. This was almost part of the list, but it's here because there's so many. I don't think I'd have time to get through it. So have you ever heard of the phrase Debbie Downer?
Yeah.
You know where that comes from?
I have no idea. Where
It
that-
originated in 2004 from Saturday Night Live. Remember
I didn't
that?
know it started there.
That's where it started. Yeah, there was a character played by
remember
Rachel
her.
Dratch.
I remember
That
her.
is the origin of Debbie Downer. I had no idea. I didn't know that
I
was
don't
the.
think so.
It's
Because
what
I had
it
heard
says.
that before.
Seriously, that's what it says. Again, I don't know for sure that all these are right. These were all submitted on this origin stories. Bucket list. That term came from a movie that came out in 2007 called The Bucket List. But it was from the screenwriter. They had written this. That's where that movie. I'd never heard the term before that. Had you?
I don't think I had. Not that one.
Yeah. Wardrobe malfunction. That started during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We'd never heard that before until the Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson
Yep.
thing. That is where that actually came from. How about mullet? What year do you suppose the name mullet was?
I would assume it was in the 80s.
Wrong. I would have assumed that too, because people had mullets like crazy in the 80s. 1994 is when the name mullet actually stuck
Really?
because of a song from the Beastie Boys called Mullet Head. They can't find anything before that. And so
I don't
seriously,
know.
it's what it
Didn't we
says.
call it the mullet in the 80s?
I don't think so. I don't know. And saying the quiet part out loud. Somebody said that it comes from The Simpsons in a 1995 episode where Krusty the Clown says, "Let's just move to a bigger house. Oops, I just said the loud part quiet and the quiet part out loud." And there's a bonus one on the list, shipping. According to this fandom term, it's when fans want two characters in a film or a book or whatever to get together. And this came from the X-Files, according to this, when Mulder and Scully, everybody was trying to get them to get together. Somehow it became called shipping.
Okay.
I don't understand that one.
No, me
I've got a
neither.
link if you want to see all of this. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-310-5831. 800-310-5831. That's 800-310-5831.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Excited to visit right now with Stephen McBee Jr. Now, he was on a program called Joe Millionaire for Richer or Poorer, and now there's a program about his family. So it's him and his dad and his brothers and their ranch. It's called the McBee Dynasty, Real American Cowboys. And Stephen, what is it like to have your family the center stage on a program? That's got to be kind of cool.
It's really, really cool. We appreciate it so much. The feedback has been incredible, but there is a part of it that's nerve-wracking because whenever we decided to do this show, we said, hey, we're going to showcase our lives for better or worse, the good moments, the bad moments. Like, we're going to lay it all out there so everyone gets to see who we are. And we're not perfect by any means. Obviously, we have some flaws, and to put that out there for the world to see, there is a part of it that's a little nerve-wracking.
And the thing that's interesting, the family, is a great family. You guys are hardworking people. You've been, doing this same thing for quite some time. This, the family farm, and now it's time for a transition where your father is going to not be in charge much longer. One of the boys will be taking over. You've kind of been doing this for a bit, so I'm kind of on Steven Jr. camp. But there's three brothers that kind of want to compete with you, don't they?
Yeah, we're all hyper competitive. We grew up playing sports, and so to say that my other brothers are going to give it up easy would be a complete fabrication. They all want to see the farm go in the direction of what they want it to be, and we're all four different personalities. So depending on who ends up taking over the farm, you could go in one of four very different directions.
Now, I think your family has got to be a little bit like my family in the sense that we compete with each other, but we never forget we're all on the same team. So at the end of the day, whoever is in charge, I got a feeling you guys will pull together and you're going to make this work no matter what, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we could be about coming to fist fighting at lunchtime, and then that evening we're sitting around a dinner table laughing and eating dinner together like nothing ever happened. That's how we've always been, understanding, hey, we're all here to support each other, and without each other, there's no way we could ever survive or run this farm and ranch.
Now, this is an unscripted series, which means like a reality show. And when this whole concept came together, did somebody approach you guys and say, hey, we have this idea, we want to do this? Or was this something that you did and said, hey, we would like this opportunity? How did the whole thing get started?
Well, it was a combined effort. Full disclaimer, going on Joe Millionaire was not for the sole purpose of finding love. I wanted to have a production company from the West Coast see my farm and ranch, see my family. I knew we had a really interesting and compelling story to tell. And whenever Joe Millionaire, we brought the top 6 girls to the farm to show them around. And seeing the farm and ranch, seeing my family, it's a small world in reality TV. And when word started getting back to the West Coast, we started having production companies reach out to us. This real-life Yellowstone started coming to fruition. And it was all about choosing the right production company that fit what we wanted to do, that would really showcase our lives authentically and in the realest way. And Jeff Jenkins Productions did that.
I love that. And the episodes that I've had a chance to watch, it's very well done. And I haven't seen all of it, so I don't know how it ends yet. And if I sit down and watch every episode that's out right now, will I see the conclusion, or is this just the beginning?
I will tell you, there will be a little bit of conclusion within season 1, but it's going to take a whole lot more than just one season of shooting to see the farm come full circle and what actually ends up happening.
Well, it's really fun to watch. And I'll tell you this, like you said, your family's not perfect. You know what, Stephen? Nobody's family is perfect. But your family, if nothing else, they're fun. And at the end of the day, even though you guys are competing, I can also tell that you love each other. And no matter what, I think that I don't think this will tear you apart. I think it'll build you guys stronger and bring the family together even closer.
Absolutely. Every single challenge we've gone through over the past decade, and there has been some very, very strong challenges on a farm and ranch, all it's done is brought us closer as a family because we understand that without each other, there isn't a chance we'd ever be able to make it on this farm and ranch. It's a tough industry. And so this TV show, all it's going to do is bring us closer together. Yeah, we may have our fights here and there, but we love each other, and we're as close as a family could possibly be.
McBee Farm and Cattle, where is that located in the United States? It's in Missouri, is that right?
Correct. We're in Gallatin, Missouri, so it's about an hour and 15 minutes due north out of Kansas City, right up I-35, the interstate there, and we're right up by the Iowa border.
Very nice. Well, the program looks like a whole lot of fun. Congratulations on the success you had with Joe Millionaire, and I wish you all of the same success for this as well, Stephen.
Oh, thank you so much, John. I appreciate it.
Again, the program is called the McBee Dynasty, Real American Cowboys. All 10 episodes are available right now on the Peacock app, or if you watch on USA Network, the first episode came out March 11th, and then it's every Monday after that. I'll throw a link to the trailer and all the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
I've been telling you about BetterCreditCards.com for a few years now. I'd love for you to take a few minutes today to check out the website. Who knows? You might find a better credit card, one that offers a better rate, or a credit card that offers cash back, airline miles, or other points and perks that can help you. Check it out now.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to BetterCreditCards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The original version of Beauty and the Beast was written in 1740, aimed at making women open to arranged marriages. Oh, nice. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Some pandas fake pregnancy to get better health care in zoos. What?
What?
Apparently.
No
Eh.
way.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Before clocks were common, the term D-sol and widdershins were used instead of clockwise and counterclockwise.
Okay.
So I don't know which is which, and I probably said them both wrong. And I'm not going to try saying them right because I might get it even worse. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
More people speak English as their second language than people who speak it as their first language.
I believe that.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Male cats are referred to as tomcats. What are females referred to? Did you know?
I think I know, but I don't.
No, it's
think I'm
queens
allowed
or
to say.
mollies.
Is
that what you were thinking?
That is not what I was going to say.
I'm glad I didn't let you guess out loud on the radio. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Insurance. It's important to have insurance, but it's more important to have the right insurance. After all, if you're not covered, it's like not even having insurance. Make sure you're covered for whatever claim might come your way with InsuranceChicken.com, helping you peck out great insurance deals in your area. You need insurance on your car anyway. Why not get great rates for great insurance from InsuranceChicken.com? That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. A survey of parents with kids under the age of 14 say this is their biggest challenge each day. What is it?
With kids under 14, getting them to get out of bed.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Getting the kids out of bed. You know, I'm trying to remember if our kids, I remember our son used to like to sleep in. Did Taylor like to sleep in too?
Oh, yes.
Did she? I don't remember.
She still
that.
does.
Well, I know she does now, but she's not 14 no more. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
What could you do with an extra $129 a month? In this economy, every penny counts. So an extra $129 each month would absolutely help. Well, 97% of us have a cell phone, and the average person pays $144 a month. Mint Mobile can help you save a mint. At just $15 a month, that's an average savings of $129 each month. It's time for a Mintervention. Switch and save today. Get this special offer at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. The California Highway Patrol says there was a brief traffic delay after a pickup truck spilled hundreds of rolls of toilet paper onto the highway.
Oh.
3 boxes of toilet paper fell from the back of a Ford F-350 on Interstate 5, Santa Clarita, about 12:20 p.m. Monday. I think this is like a week ago. I've had this for a bit. Footage shows traffic backed up as police throw rolls of toilet paper over cement barriers separating the roadway from a construction site. So, they were trying to clean up the road. Huh. We saw somebody driving and they lost like 200 or 300 paper cups.
Oh, yeah. I felt so bad for them.
I'm betting it was somebody taking cups from one store to another.
Yeah, I felt so
bad. I couldn't
bad.
tell what restaurant it was, but there were hundreds of cups blowing everywhere. We're like, oh, what a mess. And we were in a big hurry to get somewhere. We would have stopped to help. But I'm like, well, you're on your own for this one. All right, that is Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. It would seem that sometimes when lawyers decide to go into business, maybe they don't even realize it, but they come up with names that are not really the best names. According to this, are real law firms, and I'll tell you which state they're in. Like somebody with the last name Payne, Payne, and the last name Fears, Payne and Fears. That's the name of a law firm in California. Low, Ball, and Lynch, another one in California. Smart and Bigger, Ontario. Bickers and Bickers in Pennsylvania. Don't get anything done around here. We're just arguing all day. Boring and Coy in Indiana. Slappy and Sad in Georgia.
Slappy and Sad.
Sexter and Warm Flash in New York. Titsworth and Grabble in Georgia. These are just last names. These are attorneys' names, and they partner up, and then all of a sudden they have these. Walk Up and Downing in California. Butts and Butts in Virginia. Rush and Delay in Arkansas. I think that's my favorite so far. Lawless and Lawless, California. Wiener and Cox, COX in Michigan. And Lies and Bullis in North Dakota. I remember working with somebody who had the last name.
They know what they've done. I mean, they can't not notice.
Yeah. I used to work with a lady whose son was an attorney. His last name was Mutter. In that same town, there was another attorney with the last name Flood. I always thought it'd be funny if they worked together, Flood and Mutter, but they never did. All right, that's the list. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-310-5831. 800-310-5831. That's 800-310-5831.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Our quote today is from Charlie Brown. Sometimes you lie in bed at night and you don't have a single thing to worry about. That always worries me.
Oh, how cute is that?
You ever have that, though?
I can relate to that.
Seems like...
I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Or we've done projects where nothing goes wrong. We're like, wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
We didn't have anything happen that
right.
wasn't
We just are finishing one where nothing
I'm like,
went
okay,
wrong.
nothing major has happened yet.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Here's a headline: Man's life saved by McDonald's worker who used a defibrillator. This is from York, England.
Aww.
Heartwarming tale of a quick-thinking hero. A man's life was saved by the timely actions of a stranger when he suffered cardiac arrest while walking to church. Paul Myers, a resident of York, England, experienced a sudden onset of illness that he was not expecting. Nobody was expecting something like this, but he said he recollects a little bit of a blur when he fell to the ground having a cardiac arrest. However, fate intervened in the form of a compassionate passerby who swiftly administered CPR, buying crucial moments for Myers. But the chain of life-saving actions did not end there. A member of the McDonald's staff, trained in first aid, sprang into action using a defibrillator to shock Myers' heart back into rhythm.
Wow.
How cool is that?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Paramedics were promptly summoned, and Myers was swiftly transported to a hospital. After several days under medical care, he was transferred to a different hospital near his home, and he has about a month-long journey to recovery. Reflecting on the ordeal, he expressed profound gratitude for the divine intervention that placed a couple of everyday heroes in his path. The one person who started the CPR, the second person who showed up with a defibrillator.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, this is just the coolest thing. He said it's an inspiration... it's an inspiring... Can you tell I can barely read over here? It's an inspiring display of gratitude. Myers revisited the McDonald's where his life was saved, determined to express his heartfelt thanks to the staff member whose quick actions made all the difference. Despite his heroism, the staff member remained humble, deflecting praise and emphasizing the collective effort that saved his life. He's like, it wasn't just me. It was a team effort. Instead of just pointing at himself going, hero. I'll say it. Hero. Hero. All right. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.